Welcome to Noah Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin the guy. We are working on this Bianchi's headset. We determined that it actually is pitted and needs to be replaced. Got the replacement parts in and about ready to rip into it. Here we go.
Welcome to Noah Guy Bicycles.
Welcome to Noah Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin the guy. Obviously, I have a garage shop. Taking scary out of used bikes one bike at a time.
If you like these videos, please like and subscribe.
Anyway, all right. First, we need to remove the cups that are already on there. By doing so, you do a cup removal tool. So this kind of snaps into place and gets in underneath the lip of the actual cup itself. The cup looks like this guy here, so we're trying to get underneath this portion here to do so. So this is going to be a little loud, so plug your ears. Just like so. After those are removed, we want to inspect and clean the area that we're looking at. Making sure it's not damaged or anything of that nature. So looking at a headset, you get a headset in, you'll be like, oh, what are all these parts? Where are they going to go to? Well, the easiest way to determine what goes on top and what goes on bottom is the lettering. Well, this has FSA on it, so this one's the bottom cup because you can read it. If it's upside down, that's not right. So here's the top one. What we're going to be putting in is the cups. So we want to make sure we take these bearing or the race off and the adjuster cap from the top off. This one, oh, there it is. This is the race that goes on the fork. So I'll show you how to put the race on in a second, but for now, we're going to press the cups in. And you want to make sure you take all the washers and stuff off and place them so you know what order they're in. Some people like to put a little bit of grease on here so it just fits in there, and just a little bit of light, not a lot. Spacer out, or the seal. There we go. Kind of stuck in there. Another example, I like taking the bearings out prior to putting these in because it's just one less thing you can damage. So again, bottom is here. And here's a little professional tip. I mean, the logoing is around, but you want to kind of determine if it's two-sided logo, you want to be them on the outside so you can see them on the outside. If it's a 3, you want 2 outside and 1 front. This one's a 4, so front and back, side and side. And you want to try it, and they're both the same spacing, so you want to kind of do the same on both. Kind of wedge that, oh, I can't wedge that in there, so kind of put the top one in so gravity holds it in place. This is a press, headset press, also can be used as a bottom bracket press as well. So you take that portion in. Oh, don't forget the cup, Justin. There we go. Put that guy in there. This is an inexpensive one. I've used the ones in the Park Tools for years in the shop, and that's my prefer, but I only do like 2 of these a year, if that. So for me, the inexpensive one will do the trick, do the job. It's not as nice, of course, but you know, if you need something that's just inexpensive to do it once in a while, this is fine. And also the way newer headsets are integrated bearings, so you don't have to do the press cup thing anymore for the headsets. You do for the bottom bracket to press those bearings in. So that's how that works. And this guy, okay, I think I got the lettering and the vertical plane. In this particular one, I need to use the crescent wrench to hold this bit. The nicer ones obviously have both a front and top and a bottom. There we go. So, once those are pressed in, you can remove the tool like so. And now we're going to take the old race off and put the new race on. Oh, the fork. So fork goes on it, right? Yeah. So there is a crown race remover tool, which I don't have. They're pretty expensive, and again, I only do it once or twice. I usually can, I can get away with by using a punch, and this particular fork has a big enough lip that I'll be able to pop it off pretty easily. So idea is put this here, get your punch, and make a little noise. Like so. Boop. Magic. So that's how that's the race. That's the one bad one that had all the pits in it. So we get rid of that guy. And the new one goes right on top of this. Like so. And we'll press that on. So you can see I totally made a mess of my bench. I made myself a crown race out of this scrap tubing. It's basically the same thing. It just has to evenly distribute the pressure. The fancy ones are pretty expensive. And again, I only do this once or twice a year. So I took an old seat tube from a Gary Fisher warranty frame where it cracked here. Well, this particular diameter is big enough for most 1.8" forks and 1" forks. And this adjuster or a quick release clamp mashes up with all the crown races. So basically I made a home crown press, and it's perfectly fine. I gotta clean my mess now. Oh man. Okay, so we have the crown race on there. Now we need to put all the bits back together. I'm gonna use a little bit of grease. I'm always a component of just adding a little bit of grease. Kind of makes everything go back together a little better. So this bearing goes underneath, and this one had its spacer or washer, seal, the seal. This bearing goes on top, fits in there with its seal. So it's a nice sealed system with sealed bearings, so it's pretty sealed, right? Okay, enough of the dad jokes. So you got your race for the top. I'll go on top here. Actually, no, this is the racer cap. This is the race pit here. And it's slotted, so it slides down. Like the other video, the slot kind of holds the fork in place, so it doesn't all just dump out when you loosen it up. Kind of wedges it in there. And I like to put a little bit of grease on this part too. Reason being is this is an area where you can get a lot of contaminants going in from riding in the rain or what have you. And mostly for training and you're sweating a lot. If you don't put a towel, if this is indoor trainer, put a towel over this area so the sweat doesn't get into this part. That will corrode your whole fork. So for outdoor riding, you don't have to worry about it. The sweat doesn't go down; it just flies off you or evaporates. So, but it's always good to have a little bit extra grease in here for that. I've had to replace a couple of forks before which were seized. Which, if you look at one of my older videos, you'll find it. it's not fun. It was kind of a nightmare to do. So we have the seal there, and on the back, on the top. So this is a 1 inch. So 1 inch has its own spacer size versus 1.1 inch. This guy's gonna go in here like so. Holds in that little wedge piece, holds it in place, which is magical, so it doesn't drop right out. And you put your spacers, but obviously you don't want to walk too far away because it will drop out. And again, this one had that sleeve that fits over on top of here. So here's the thing. Different headsets have different spacing to them. So the one we had on there might be a skinnier, lower profile spacing. So this stem here might stick up a little higher or lower of the steer tube. So you want to make sure, like I mentioned before in other videos, this top binder bolt needs to be below that lip of that steer tube. Reason being is you want to be able to clamp onto that steer tube as secure. You got 2 bolts, that's it. So if it's too high up and that thing gives because you only have 1 bolt, you're holding on to your handlebars, you're going downhill real fast because that's when it's going to fail, when in the worst opportunity time, right? Opportune time. And goes, you won't have any response time to be able to lift up or anything. You're just going to go down and pile up. So, an easy fix, big problematic issue if it's not done right. So this one does sit a little high. So what I'm going to do, it did change the pitch on it, which is good because before I had that extra 1.1 inch spacer floating around in there. So now you see it's flush to the shim, which not all of them have a shim. This is specific to this one. But now you have this little lip to it, and that's going to be darn near perfect. And yes, I know the fork is facing backwards, or the handlebars. I'm just, whatever. So keep in mind that too when you put these on. The fork rake goes out. I don't know how many times I've seen department store bikes where the fork's on, like, facing the wrong direction. So the fork rake is out, which I mean is that direction. And this is your adjuster cap. It did come with extra star, but the star is already in this one. So this one will work just fine. Hopefully it's, oh wait, because it's an 1.1 inch stem, and it's a, what is that doing on there? It's going to fit right into the, it's going to fit right into the stem hole itself. So what I need to use is the one that came on there, which was the 1.1 inch adjuster cap. This is the 1.1 inch stem. Sorry, not going to be able to use the new A headset fancy silver one, but you can go online and find yourself, little slogan ones like "Shut Up Legs," or ones that look like a donut, or a piece, whatever your style is to bling out your bike. They make a couple different ones. So, and also I will adjust this too when the wheel's on there and on the ground, so I can get a feel for the flex. But I'm just right now just kind of staging it, and then you tighten down your binder bolts on both sides. And you want to check them equally, so the equal amount of tension on both sides. And voila, we got ourselves a new headset. And guess what? It doesn't notch. Wow. And it's kind of stiff in a sense because it has these seals and they're sealed bearing. And I will adjust it on the ground, but it might be a little bit, maybe just a tad tight, but it's a lot smoother. There's no feeling in there. And this is going to be obviously a safe ride. Anyway, there's your headset. Installed, ready to go. Now to the rest of the bike. Thanks for spending time with me. If you have any questions or comments, throw them down below. If you want to see something different or have any questions about this, about something else or whatever, throw in the comments. I'll respond. Anyway, have a great day. Until next time, from the garage.